Hi. Today I'm going to make a video for people to see so that they can know how to put on CollidEscape dots that go on the windows that help birds from hitting the windows. And I've never done this before, making a video, but I looked for hours for something that would show me exactly how to do this. There's another brand that has them, but they go along horizontally, and these go vertically. And so I figured it out after a while, and I figured I'd make the video that I wanted to find. So this is, can you see that? That's the name of it. And these are the kinds of dots they are. They're black on the inside, white on the outside. So from the inside of the house, you can see them, but it's not distracting at all. And the birds can definitely see them out here. So the first thing I did, you can see this window is already finished. So this is what I did with that window, and I'm just repeating it with a second one. I put a piece of tape, top and bottom, and I measured the glass, and then I put a line where the middle was, both top and bottom. And then there's different, you can separate them by 2 inches, 3 inches, or 4 inches, and I decided 2 inches because that would make a square, because the dots on the roll are 2 inches apart. And the instructions are, well, okay, so I figured it all out, and I was happy to see that it ended, this will be identical, it ended with 2 inches on either side, so that was perfect. If I had had to adjust it a little bit, I just would have adjusted it a little bit. But, so now I'm putting the first dot 2 inches from the top, because I figured out that they would end up, by measuring the window this way, the bottom dot will end up 2 inches from the edge. And so their instructions are, you tape up a strip, and I already pre-cut these. Tape up a strip, this one's going right in the middle, and then I've got pieces of tape, and I'm going to line it up, I'm just going to eyeball it with the center line down here on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is, they recommend you do all of them before you start putting any of them up. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go 2 inches to the top of the dot, and this just happens to be what my window measured out to be. So that's going to go right there. And I'm going to double check it. Well, I guess it's okay. And then I'm going to put another piece of tape on the bottom, and I'm going to line it up with this line. Oh, so I got these other lines at the bottom. I guess I didn't explain how I got the other lines at the bottom. I measured 2.5 inches, because the little circles are a 1/2 inch wide. So in order to have 2 inches of space in between them, there has to be like 2.5 inches from like the left-hand side of this dot to the left-hand side of that dot, and that makes 2 inches in the middle. So that's how I have all my other marks here. This one up higher, and this one's gonna go right there, and it's got to be 2 inches from the top edge, and it is. And then on the bottom, I'm gonna eyeball it right to that line. Two more. This needs to be, I'm going to first eyeball it with the one beside it and the line above it. Oops, that's crooked. Let's see. Yep, 2 inches. I'll make sure that's down good. And then do the bottom. Line it up with this line. So this way you know that they're all coming out straight. It took me so long to like sit down and figure this out this morning, and I was having a hard time figuring it out with just written instructions, because it does come with written instructions. It's not that it doesn't come with instructions. It's that I needed to see somebody doing something before I could do it. That's how it is. All right, so this is the last one. And I'm gonna eyeball that to that line. All right, so they're all on. They all look good. Just kind of look, make sure that it's 2 inches in between them, and that's right. Oh, they suggest another piece of tape in the middle, so I'll do that. And then, this was the hardest thing to understand from the written instructions. Oops. All right. And that was, how do you get the paper that's underneath the dots against the window? How the heck do you get that out? So I'm going to show you, because that's what I needed to find. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, and these two are secure, I'm going to take this top one off, and I'm going to unpeel the back just to expose one dot, and I'm going to fold it down. And then I'm going to put that dot back up, and I'm going to make sure it's in line with this line. I'm going to press it to the window, put that tape back so it's on there real secure. And then I'm going to take the rest of it and pull the whole back off. Yep, I got one dot that didn't want to go. I guess I will have to put that on by hand. It jumped ship. All right, so I'm going to put this right here, tape it down, and I'm going to smooth the whole thing, because the whole thing is sticky. I guess when I finish these, I can take this little dot off of here and just stick it on the window, because it did say that in the instructions. The other thing I'm going to do is, they say a credit card, but I just happen to have this thing, this little Tupperware thing, and I'm going to make sure they're all on really well. And then the other important thing that I figured out while I was doing this was, when you're taking that paper off, you need to do it so that you're pulling down completely flat against the window, and then it peels right off those dots. So anyways, I guess that's what I would have wanted to see, is how to get them up there, and then how to get the paper off, because that was what I couldn't figure out. So I guess that's the end of my first instructional video of my life, and I hope it helps somebody.